And we have this here saying Governor Kathy Hochul sending National Guard members to New York City subways to combat ongoing crime. A series of recent high-profile crimes in the New York City subway system prompted Governor Kathy Hochul on Wednesday to send National Guard members into the sprawling underground network. Hochul is ordering a force of nearly 1,000 people comprising 750 National Guard members, state police, and transit officers to conduct back checks at some of the busiest stations. The effort, Hochul said, is intended to get rid of our subways of people who commit crimes and to protect all New Yorkers, whether you are a commuter or transit worker. No one heading to their job or to visit family or go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon, she told reporters. So, let me be very, very, very clear, Hochul said, that these brazen, heinous attacks on our subway system will not be tolerated. Sunday, a 64-year-old woman was checking his phone when he was kicked into the tracks at Penn before going a good Samaritan helped him get out of the harm's way. A 27-year-old man was slashed abroad northbound train in Manhattan on Friday after the perpetrator allegedly made homophobic comments at him. So, yeah, these are things that are going here, and these are the reasonings for it. Now, I understand that the New York crime is very high, and if it has gotten to the point to where you need National Guard to combat the crime in certain areas like the subways, then maybe you should probably start funding the police again. Start stop removing police and start hating on police and start having them do their jobs rather than sitting in the National Guard. Because if this is such a big issue for the National Guard then that's a problem. Now there's some other things here that people I think want to be correlating to why they may actually be needing the National Guard, and we have this here from Stephen Crowder. Breaking. Tennessee Office of Homeland Security issues officer safety bulletin to multiple state law enforcement agencies in response to bomb threat targeting Trump supporters. Have been thinking an awful lot about rigging my van and bombing real Donald Trump supporters. It goes on here to say the Federal Bureau of Investigation Memphis Field Office notified the Tennessee Office of Homeland Security of a Guardian incident report indicating that Dayton made concerning statements to his mother via text message. One of the messages stated to have been thinking an awful lot about rigging my van and bombing Trump supporters. Initial investigation revealed that Dayton has experienced suicidal and homicidal ideations and also mentioned trying to obtain a firearm. Initial investigation has also revealed that Dayton has an active order of protection issued in Waukegan, Illinois. Dayton's criminal history indicated previous arrests for public drunkenness and domestic battery incidents. According to the subject's parents, he suffers from unidentified mental health diagnosis. Dayton has several addresses associated with him in the Memphis City, Shelby County area. At this time, the subject is believed to be transient and has no known address. Dayton is believed to be operating a tan in color 1995 Chevrolet G20 passenger van bearing Illinois license plate. His vehicle was captured on flock cameras in Shelby County as recently as 2008. So yeah, this guy is obviously a problem, right? And we know that the far left have some mental health issues. I think they're the most insane in that regard. And again, we have this from, the Lauderdale Scholar site that the Tennessee Office of Homeland Security issues officer safety bulletin to multiple state law enforcement agencies in response to bomb threat targeting Trump supporters. And, Lauderdale Scholar is exclusively publishing, this is the type of stuff that's been going on here. It says, Benjamin Matthew Dayton's Instagram features a video post that includes excerpts from an Army issue, improvised munitions handbook, and reference to Gaza, Palestine, and all that great stuff. So yeah, it's quite insane what's going on here. Now, we also have some other crazy stuff that are instigating some things, and we have this here with MSNBC saying Elon Musk can't stop fear-mongering on immigration. Now we're going to stop here for a second, and we're going to understand what is going on here. First off, I made a report on my actual Twitter here not too long ago, where I was going on and saying that Biden is going against the American people by flying illegal immigrants into our country, which across our country people are fed up with the illegals being here. There is a treasonous act in itself, making us invulnerable to anybody who wants to harm Americans in our country. And in the article from from the Daily Mail. It goes on to say, Elon Musk says the groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 9/11 after Biden administration admitted flying 320K unvetted migrants into the U.S. has national security vulnerabilities. So that's what's going on here. Elon Musk bashed President Biden's administration after they admitted to flying 320,000 unvetted migrants into the U.S. And this is what's going on here. We have this, Marseille, illegal immigrant terrorism, right-wing boogeyman or credible threat. And then, again, we have this here that says, as Merrick Kirsten points out in his book, A New Case Against Immigration, all the terrorists involved in the 9/11 attacks have committed some kind of immigration fraud. There are many examples of the link between terrorism and immigration since 9/11 too. For instance, in the fiscal year 2023, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection caught 736 people listed on the terrorist screening data as at TSCS. Other extremists have been caught on their way to the U.S. as well. In February 2023, Lieutenant Warsman Farah, the oldest son of a top leader of Al-Shabaab, a recognized Somali terrorist group, was arrested in Costa Rica. So, yeah, and this is what's going on here in this area, right? So, we're seeing that this is a problem and that we're having an issue. It says, additionally, the statistics only include extremists have been caught and identified by authorities. There are many individuals with terrorist ties who have yet been recorded on any list. We also can't overlook the large number of gotaways, those who have entered the U.S. and Europe without any screening. Since fiscal year 2021, at least 1.7 million illegal immigrants have evaded capture and disappeared somewhere in the U.S. without undergoing any security checks. So, that's the case here. And, of course, we have MSNBC saying that Elon Musk can't stop fear-mongering on immigration. And, I mean, they're saying, right? As the tech billionaire Elon Musk continues to push a right-wing conspiracy theory about the Biden administration importing voters by transporting undocumented immigrants into the country, and in a recent post goes so far as to suggest that the immigrants may be orchestrating a terror attack against the U.S., which is true. They could very well be. And as well, we all know that the Biden administration is importing, even what else that says, the Biden administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants. It is highly probable that the groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 9/11, just a matter of time. And yeah, we all know that these people are trying to get more of these illegals into our country to get votes, right? This has been a common thing. It's not really a surprise, and they're saying that must include a screenshot of the headline of Daily Mail story, considered on a report issued Monday from the Center of Immigration Studies, an organization that has pushed for strict limits on immigration because of Border Protection declining to close the airports to undocumented immigrants. Yeah, so again, it's no surprise why we would be fearful for it, right? It's no surprise why we would be scared of it, because if you have 220,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. and we're being vulnerable and they're unvetted, and then we have this here, pretty much saying that that there's a lot of people that were gone unvetted, and a lot of cases where terrorism did happen in our country was due to them illegally coming in and stuff like that, and immigration. Yeah, that may pose as an actual issue here than we may realize. And those 320,000, as I said before, we don't know how many they are. It could be 500, it could be 1,000, it could be 200. We don't know on how many of the 220,000 people that are unvetted that are entering our country. So yes, it could very well be a very dangerous thing for our country if we have these people into our country unvetted. And there could be very well possibly a horrible 9/11 or worse than it. It might be called something else, whatever the date may be, because that's just the insanity of it. MSNBC is a fucking hack job. They are a terrible news organization. They are all for propaganda and lying, and there is very much reason to be scared of a actual case that is happening in our country. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.